Hello, everybody, to your friendly neighborhood INFP, and today we are going to be looking at the House of Gnome. We have done the House of Undine, we have done the House of Sylph, and now it is time for the one. I don't know why the Earth is called Gnome, but it was called Gnome before we had like the gnome yard lawn decorations, which are like very creepy. I don't know what actual traditional gnomes are technically supposed to look like. But in the realm of alchemy, that's what the earth aspect creature is called, the gnome. So, all right then. So with this house, it says that those of this house are often considered to be steady, strong, loyal, and diligent, which are all values the members of this house value. They are able to appreciate both the activity and the noise of work, along with the stillness that comes once the work is finished. They have no need to travel if they do not wish to, and many are perfectly content staying in a certain place. Others of a more naturist type will often wander off from time and again to enjoy that which nature has to offer, but they are in no rush to see absolutely everything and will take time to take everything in. Those of this house are often considered stoic by many, not that they mind, as they are the most focused in that which is reality. No one is a better craftsman or woman than those in this house, and no one knows the nature best like those in this house. In this house, one is taught many practical things that will, as they hope, make things easier for others. Along with the House of Undine, the House of Gnome also holds some of the most individualistic people themselves. Yet their individualism is often different than that of the House of Undine. In this house, they know how to direct paths in which water will flow and the fire will burn. Along with the House of Salamander, they create the items and tools required for those to practice their crafts among all of the houses. The teachers of this house teach their students the know and why of the how and why of things. They desire their students to learn skills that would both make them stronger and allow them to hold their ground. While they may be a slow-moving force, nothing is as sturdy or as reliable as the things that the students in this house are taught to make. They are, after all, a very hands-on type of people who have no issue getting dirty, wet, or burned, well, not as much as the others. Uh, when it comes to this house, when it comes to houses they get along with, the House of the Salamander is the closest, as they help each other in no better words in the aspect of creation and destroying. So they both create and destroy things together and basically work on various different types of stuff together. Like it's essentially like stone and fire and like the whole ovens and all of that kind of stuff. Typical blacksmithing type of stuff as well. They also tend to get along with the House of Undine as they help nourish and grow areas people in this house are not sure of. Lastly, because of their whimsical and fickle nature, the House of Gnome tends to have the largest problem with the House of Sylph, whose members simply do not know the meaning of sitting still. So the House of Gnomes are a very kind of slow-moving, slow-paced, hard-working, but know when to take breaks kind of group of people. I would imagine people like ISTPs being in this house, maybe even INTPs, or even like I would say probably ESTJs could even be in this house, although some ESTJs would also probably be in the House of Salamander, but we'll talk about that next time. For this house, because it's like from the previous houses, it was based on functions. The first one with Undine being Phi and Phi, and then Sylph being Ni and Si. The House of Gnome, I would say, is more of a. I would go personally. I think. What was I thinking for this house? I was thinking. Was I thinking Psy and Tai for this house? Might have been Psy. Yeah, introverted sensing and introverted thinking for this house is probably the two areas that I was focusing on. With it's more of a introverted thing, more of a work together thing. But it could also be no, T moves too fast. Um, wouldn't be Phi either. T tie. Could also be Psi and Nai, potentially. It's the people who are I think Psy is like the primary one here, followed by Tai because it is the people who do take things slowly, are kind of high workers, have a system that they follow, don't need to consider moving to one place to the other. These would be the kinds of people who have never left their family home ever. They were born, lived, and died in that home, kind of thing. They may not have traveled the world. They're just like a strong sense of community. They do what is like absolutely comfortable to them, and they don't typically go beyond that. So that's like a heavy Psi thing to do, where they have their routine and they typically don't break that routine if they don't like it. So very big on the Psi with elements of Tai in it, like figuring out how things work, why things work, the pattern of things, and all of that. So I believe for functions it would be Psi Tai for this house, but that is not into like I think when I wrote it, that's what I was probably thinking, but it's been such a long time that I can't confirm it. But that's where I'll leave that off. Anyways, that is it for today's video. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.